So, welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've been doing well in the last 30 seconds. Here we go. Like, I'm not gonna... You guys know what I'm doing, all right? You read the title. You know what we're doing. Let's heckin' do it. You know what? I'm actually gonna disappear as well, just so we can really focus on it. Strap in. Let's go. In the name of the light. Ah, Master Asher, will you be venturing forth today? Do be sure to take care of so, though they say the star shower was harmless. No one can never be too careful. But I can see it is not for me to tell the Warrior of Darkness how to look after himself. Old habits, you understand. Ah, Ethys, how very opportune. Greetings, my friend. Do you perchance have a moment to spare? I like Morin. What's up, Morin? Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to thank you, you see, for revealing to us the truth of the Warriors of Light. After all these years, your tale set the record straight. Finally, the people see them as the great heroes they were. Or the great hero he is, in the case of Ardbert. You too were surprised to see him, I think. He is basically me in game, isn't he? At the time, I was not certain what to make of it all. I could see the effect his words had on those around me. And then the stars rained down from the sky and... well, you know the rest. When the commotion died down, you were nowhere to be seen. I was determined to express my gratitude, and so here I am. Thank you, Ethys, for giving voice to the truth and restoring the Warriors of Light to their rightful place in history. So this is happening like almost immediately after 5.2, I suppose, if he's like come to try and find us. Should you perhaps wish to have your account of these matters committed to writing, I'd be more than willing to serve as your scribe. Indeed, if there is anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only say the words. Oh, Danny, thank you very much for 41 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What can you tell me about the Warriors of Light? Yeah, let's see, like, what Morin thinks he knows. There's a lot of unvoiced cutscenes this time around. Well, that's fine. I beg your pardon. You wish to ask me about the Warriors of Light? Forgive me, but I dare say you already know about them than any living soul. Save for Ardbert himself, of course. Unless... refer to the Warriors of Light more broadly? If so, I may yet be able to assist you in some small way. Excellent. I shall return to the cabinet at once and look up the relevant texts. Pray join me at your earliest convenience. Okay, good. Let us read some books. No rest for the righteous, it would seem. Do not let me keep you, sir. I bid you a pleasant day. No, Kupo King, we're only just starting it now. I didn't do it yesterday because I like to give everyone else a chance to do it themselves before I do, so they can join us for the ride without having it spoiled. Klopfer, I've played through Whirlit and Yorha. And that's it, so far. Oh, no worries. This is my pleasure. Ah, Ethys, excellent timing. I have but this moment finished gathering the materials for our lesson. As a great many works make reference to the Warriors of Light, I shall, with your permission, focus only upon the details that seem most relevant. Oh, hello, my children. The Warriors of Light, you say? Forgive us, but we couldn't help overhearing. We've been out keeping watch over the Crystarium, but it appears to be business as usual. So I thought I'd spend some time brushing up on my knowledge of familiars, and Alphino volunteered to help. Yeah, interesting. I actually came on a different errand, but I'd be interested in hearing about the Warriors of Light as well. May I join you? I need to take the sunglasses off for these cutscenes. Of course, the more the merrier. If you would care to find a table below, I shall be down with the books in a moment. He does, actually. I hate that. Morin does have the same face as Asai, doesn't he? Were one to pore over the annals of Rantic history, one would note the comparatively frequent recurrence of individuals hailed as the Warriors of Light. Yes, give us some frantic history, dude. Be specific. Ardbert and his comrades required no introduction, but many others bore the epithets long before them. To name but a few, there was Torthwill, legendary first king of Lakeland, Rodford and Solard, the fabled Dran and Galgant duo of Velbert. And no list of frantic heroes would be complete without the Archmage Tiona of Ronka. Yes, she too was called a Warrior of Light. Yes, we knew about that. It surprised me to read people were ready to forget the negative associations of the title. It did surprise me how ready, rather. But it makes sense if it's been around for centuries. Verily, in ages past it was simply a synonym for hero. In the wake of the Flood, however, Light came to be regarded with fear, a title used not to exalt, but to revile. We did fight. Well, we fought a painting of Torthwill. It was some kind of Soulkin, probably. But yes, that was very interesting. Because I suspected that it was the more recent king, like it was the one before yeah, but that's interesting that there was he just said it was the first, right? Far cry from its beginnings. Oh snap. Alright, here we go. Oh, I'm so ready. This, my friends, is Novrad's oldest epic. The original tale of the struggle between good and evil. In a time where all lay shrouded in darkness, a prophesied hero rose to deliver the world from its doom. Fighting in the name of the light, the hero styled himself its foot soldier, and thus he did come to be known as the Warrior of Light. Hey Bocom, thank you very much for 13 months. Curiously, in the centuries that followed, other heroes appeared who claimed the selfsame epithet, despite sharing no discernible connection with their predecessors. And in time, the Warrior of Light came to be a name accorded to all men and women of uncommon skill and valor. Well, well, the plot thickens. As you know, the title of Warrior of Light is also used in the source, though the manners in which individuals have earned it are many and varied. Heroes have been honored thus since antiquity. Nor does the custom show any signs of dying out, as you can well attest. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It surely can't be a coincidence. Indeed not. Let us imagine a man who has awakened to the echo and is able to hear Heidelind's voice. As she styles him, so too does he style himself, a warrior of light. Of course, being blessed with the echo does not in itself make one a hero, and conversely, there will have been no few heroes who were not blessed with it. But such distinctions are immaterial to the masses, and over time they came to use the title Warrior of Light and the word hero interchangeably. Sounds about right. It would be interesting to see if the theory holds true in the other worlds, if crossing the rift were that easy. Well, we know that it did, on the 13th. Eidolon did call me a Warrior of Light, that's true. She planted that seed. She did. I've never heard her voice myself, but I can feel her presence, perhaps through Minfilia. At any rate, assuming all this is true, and there's a common thread behind the epithet, I doubt the Asians will have been amused. Have the world at large associate light, and by extension Heidelin, with good, must have added insult to injury. Yeah, Rina's the echo. Yeah, of course. While this discussion is undeniably fascinating, I wonder, should I be privy to it? Mayhap it would be better if I excuse myself? Oh, no need for that, my friend. Pray accept our apologies. Your lesson on the Warriors of Light has given us much to ponder. Oh, did someone say Warriors of Light? That's right, Morin's like not really privy to what we know about the shards. Riki Tio, are you alright? Oh my god, it's adorable. Ah, my precious tomes. Did I not say you must take care in the cabinet? You too, Arkil, Airwill. We're sorry, Master Morin. Aren't you? The Warrior of Darkness? God. My name's Riki Tio, and I want to help everyone. Please, tell me what I have to do to be a hero, to be a Warrior of Light. Oh no. Yeah, right, they've done like a lot of work for our animation and our rig there. I'm already getting death flags from this child. Do you remember me? When you returned from the sea with the Exarch, I asked how you became so strong. Yeah, I remember. We're sorry we knocked over the books. The child's inquisitiveness is to be commended, but... my precious tomes. Setting aside our misgivings, it would seem churlish to discourage the young lady. Let's hear what she has to say. No harm done. For the children, at least. Even children want to become warriors of light.
This is troubling, isn't it? And are we seriously, like, knowing what Elidibus is up to, are we seriously going to entertain this? Like, I was saying in 5.2 how foolish I thought it was that we were going around and telling everyone the story of Warrior of Light when we knew what was happening. Alright, I just need to drink my coffee here before it gets cold. Hold on.
Alright. So, I want to be a warrior of light, but not one that fights with a sword and all that. No, I want to be the kind that fights with potions and heals people. An apothecary. Apothecary. And I'm going to help everyone in the Crystarium. No, in all of Northrend. When I told Arcul and Erwil this, they said that the cabinet should have lots of tomes about potions. But this place is so big, you don't have the faintest idea where to begin searching. At this rate, I'm not going to get anywhere. If one knew where to look, one should indeed be able to find treatises on potions here. Even so, I fear they may prove a little difficult for one so young. But, Esteemed warrior of darkness, perhaps you might accompany young Riki Tio, I think that's right, Spagirix. Rather than through tomes, I believe she stands to learn more by observing the Chirurgeons at their work. Sounds like a plan. Seems we've finished here, so we'll come with you. I don't have time for this. Alright, fine. Ha! I'll have you know I'm really fast. You're gonna be the rotten egg.
Yeah, there are gonna be so many people that are like, oh, chemist confirmed. And I mean, maybe, right? Maybe. Perhaps. Don't forget the sunglasses. Yeah, I really should just go ahead and hide those. After you've finished helping Riki, can you help us become Warriors of Light too?
Chesimil's medicines work really well. I just wish they didn't taste so bad. It appears there aren't so many patients at the moment. Only pray that such peaceful days continue. A warrior who fights with potions. Certainly innovative. Prefer a blade myself, but each her own.
Oh no. You're really leaning on it.
See how her eyes shine, my friend? You've made her day.
Asian machination or no, it wouldn't do to dash the dreams of one so young. The Exarch would feel the same, I believe.
Right, I'm here. What do I do? What do I do? Well now, to what do I owe the pleasure of so many bright-eyed visitors? Is that the way of it, sweetie? The wish to learn about medicine? That's right. I want to become a warrior of light who uses potions to help people all over the world. Well, this is a very noble endeavor, and you aren't alone in it. No futile infirmary yearns to venture forth as warriors of light. But ultimately, they have all decided not to pursue that dream. Huh? Why? Because the people here need them too, sweetie. The guards who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe. The artisans who toil tirelessly that we might sustain our way of life. And younglings like you, who are the future of the Crystarium. He killed
Younglings. I just, whenever people use the phrase younglings for children, I always think back to that. So, you know, in that shot when Ewan McGregor delivers that line, I saw him killing younglings. He covers his mouth. And I saw in like a behind the scenes interview that he wasn't doing that as like an acting choice. He was having to cover his mouth to stop himself from laughing. Yeah. And whenever I see the word younglings in this game, I always think about that. I'm just like, oh no. Oh man. Hey, this is the second day consecutively that we've ended up talking about Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ay, ay, ay.
They couldn't simply abandon them, you see. And so, difficult though it was, they made the decision to remain. Then, does this mean my dream is any good? Oh, sweetie, yours is a wonderful dream. It'll be my pleasure to help you pursue it. If we all work hard, the day will come when our chirurgeons may yet set forth to aid folk in every corner of the realm. As we strive towards that day, I hope that we can rely upon you as well. I must warn you, ours is not an easy path, though you must work very, very hard. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'll become the best apothecary ever. Just you watch. That's the spirit. Without further ado then, may I entrust you with a task? I have placed an order at Sweet Sea for a potion ingredient. I would like you to go and collect it. And by you, of course, I mean the Warrior of Darkness and all of his very important friends that have many better things to do. Oh, an ingredient! Leave it to me, Myth! You stupid fucking child. My, such an abundance of energy. Oh, I can't help wonder if she'll be all right by herself. My apologies, but would you mind accompanying her?
Damn it.
When you arrive at Sweet Sea, speak with a woman named Gracine. She will point you in the right direction.
I shall join you. As the one who suggested this course to Rikitio, I would assist in her first steps. Actually, there's a lot of Mikote NPCs that like mix and match Keeper and Seeker assets, which makes me think that there's actually quite a bit more interbreeding between the two clans than perhaps among some of the other races. And what are the two of you? Are you coming along too? Well, we do want to become warriors of light, just not the same kind as Riki. So we'll wait for you here, Warrior of Darkness. When you return, please teach us how to fight. In that case, Reen and I shall keep them company and take the opportunity to ask about their aspirations. A Mistel divided into clans. The thing is, before the flood, the races were very much split in Novrant as well. In many cases, like more so than in Eorzea. Like the ethnic distribution of most of the pre-flood Vrantic cities were 2, maybe 3 different races, and like basically none of any others. And there's always a history, like with most of the old Vrantic cities, of like 2 races that had clans that were living in the same area and, you know, overcoming their differences and like building a city together, which is pretty common in like early 6th Astral era in Eorzea. But in like late 6th Astral era Eorzea, particularly, you know, like the Age of Adventuring and all that, it became a lot more like dispersed. So yeah, it would have been like similar to early 6th Astral Era before the Flood, but after the Flood, you know, pretty much everyone is dead, and the people that are alive are from all kinds of different, you know, different races and different clans, and so many of them have had to settle in the Crystarium together and like put aside those old differences, those old prejudices, and as a result of the last 100 years, their cultures have become homogenized, and I imagine they've also become more like racially homogenized, and like pre-existing clans and stuff like that doesn't really matter anymore. Does that make any sense? Did they have sub-races? I mean, they did, yeah. Like, you go to Raktika and you see Dark Elves, right? They're not Duskwhite, they're not the same, but they probably had, like, same sort of, like, evolutionary conditions of living in caves and living in the dark, and eventually becoming this, this disparate, like, ethnic clan. That's true, there's a quest about mixed babies. Yeah, there is a side quest about mixed babies here. It seems like it's far more common in the Crystarium post-Flood than it is in Eorzea. Thank you, sweetie. I feel better knowing that you're keeping an eye on Ricky Tio. We know you're busy, but we want to be just like you. I hope you'll teach us how. We won't move an ilm until you return. If it's to be had at Sweet Sieve, I assume the ingredients is some manner of crop? Too many grown-ups would only diminish Riki Tio's sense of accomplishment. We'll stay here and talk to her friends. Okay. I'm gonna go to Sweet Sieve, okay. Very fast, it's just a run over there. Yeah, exactly, Void Hunter. Yeah. Because the survivors of the Flood, like I say, were from so many different clans in so many different cities, and they all had to, like I say, put all of that aside and create this, like, you know, homogenized, as you say, melting pot in the form of the Crystarium, really just to survive. How do I feel about the story of this patch? Well, I don't know how to feel about the MSQ yet. We only just started it, but I really enjoyed Whirl-It was awesome. And the story of the Nier stuff, not so much, but like everything else about it was really great. If it isn't the Warrior of Darkness himself, may I assume you with Master Alphino? Right. Lest you wonder, Chesamil's order is for grapes. As busy as we've been of late, however, I regret to say we didn't have the time to harvest them. So it was with apologies that I asked Master Alphino and his young companion to help themselves to the fruits of the vines. Perhaps you could lend them a hand. It's the undersized grapes you want to pick. They're too small for normal consumption, but suitable for making wine and medicine. Okay. Are they small enough? Ah, there you are. As it turns out, the ingredient still wants for harvesting, so we're going about that now. Yeah, the Sapphire fight was awesome. I'd really like to see a shot at like a solo extreme mode kind of version of that. I think would be really interesting. Oh, you're here too? We're picking little grapes. It's quite fun. Okay. Wow, you've picked this many already? Amazing! I dare say we have enough between us. Shall we take them back to Chesamil? I can't wait to see what he's gonna do with them. Tell me, Riki, what made you want to become an apothecary and warrior of light? Why? Well, a while ago I fell sick, really sick,
My body was burning up. I felt so weak I couldn't even get out of bed. A traveling apothecary came and gave me a potion to drink. It was the foulest thing I've ever tasted, but it made me get better. He was so brave. The apothecary, I mean. He went around taking care of people, even when it was dangerous. And I decided I want to help people just like her. So I started brewing potions out of grass and giving to my friends. I didn't really know what I was doing or if there was anything else I could do. Oh my god. Some of them got really thick, and some of them had like these weird dreams, but they were awake and they were like seeing things, and they got really hungry. Then not long ago, a neighbor told me he's going to become a warrior light and go traveling the world helping people. And I thought, that's the same as I want to do. I see. Out of curiosity, what did your neighbor do in the end? Thaler. I haven't seen him for a bit. So he must already be out there looking for people to help. So Thaler is the Hure guardsman that we were interacting with last time. Thaler, the guards awakened by the star shower. Thank you for sharing your tale with us, Rikitio. I myself took inspiration from one not unlike your traveling apothecary. I hope her good example will spur you on to realize your dreams. But it will not be done in a day. Such lofty goals are reached through hard work and persistence, through countless little acts of heroism, like delivering the grapes to Chesamil. It would seem I've been laboring under a misapprehension. I'd convinced myself that it was Elidibus who had sowed the desire to become warriors of light within the hearts of the people. Man, Alphino is growing so much. But I see now that the impulse to aid their fellow man abided with them from the first. Elidibus did no more than give it a name. And as he so kindly proclaimed, we must return to our own world ere long. The Exarch labouring tirelessly. I doubt not, but that a way will be found. So I believe I speak for all of us when I say I cannot leave in good conscience, not until we have dealt with Elidibus. This is no longer a strange and distant land after all. Novrant has become as a home to us, her people our own. Let us return to Spagirix. It wouldn't do to keep your admirers waiting. Yeah, they really have Sour, and I think it's fantastic. You know, like, one criticism I always used to have about 14, and I remember talking about this a lot when Final Fantasy 15 came out, is that they were on like opposite ends of the spectrum when it came to like building a narrative. In that in 15, the world building was not very compelling. Like the big picture stuff wasn't so great, but like the character work and the little interactions and the little bits of flavor that kind of made you feel attached to the characters and made them feel sort of real and fleshed out and gave them their own sort of, you know, arcs and trajectories and stuff like that was fantastic. At least to me. And 14 was like the complete opposite, where the characters were, you know, mostly just cardboard cutouts, and there was this fantastic sort of, you know, world building and lore and like grand epic sort of Tolkien-esque storytelling with not so much attention to the little details. But Shadowbringers in particular has really like patched that up so well. Particularly the cast of the Scions, you know.
from ARR to now have really come into their own. Riki Tio was beaming with pride when she returned. It may only have been a simple task, but she won't soon forget this achievement. Huzzah, you're back! We're ready to start learning. Riki didn't make you drink one of her grass potions, did she? After chatting with Arkle and Erwil here, we came to an agreement. I'll let them explain their request themselves. Riki Tio has delivered her grapes, as have I. Thanks for helping with the grapes, Warrior of Darkness. In return, I promise to brew you a potion one day. Oh, you don't have to do that, honestly. Why, thanks for your help, sweetie. We now have all the ingredients we require. From the grapes we shall make a vinegar, which we will add elf grass and a few other herbs to produce an invigorating syrup. Though it's unspeakably sour, it does wonders for the constitution. Part of her studies, I may just have to give Riki Tio a little taste. Alright. You guys got anything else to say? Yeah, okay. Go with it. Heroic dreams! Warrior of Darkness, if you finish helping Riki, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest to God's fighting. You already have some enemies that you can deal with. Vampire bats! The guards say they become a pest around the Crystarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. They shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting, we were just watching. The children told us as much while you were away. And in preparation, Chesimil kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind the younglings will be watching. That's to say, put on a good show, yes? Right, let's head outside at once. Everyone, follow me. I did. I did, Omega, I did. Alize, wait just a... Come on then, children. The riders are so good, honestly. Yes, the riders are so good. And, you know, there's like a pretty big writing staff to 14, so I don't want to be like reductionist, but honestly, I put so much of it down to Ishikawa. Natsuo Ishikawa wrote the Coil storyline in ARR, as well as the Ishgard's storyline, that sort of chapter when you go to Ethys and, you know, meet Orshafon and rescue Biggs and Wedge and all that stuff, like leading up to Garuda in ARR. Those were her like two big contributions to ARR. And then in Heaven's Ward, she did I can't remember which parts of the MSQ she did in Heaven's Ward, but she did the Dark Knight questline in Heaven's Ward moving forward. And as of Shadowbringers, she is the lead main scenario writer. She's given that credit alongside Oda-san. And I honestly like give her so much credit for the way, like, Shadowbringers in particular, the way the Shadowbringers narrative has unfolded. She's fantastic. She's really, like, I think one of the best writers in the industry at the moment. At least, like, main scenario, like, narrative writers in the industry. It'll be safe enough for the children here. She deserves a award of some kind. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I really hope I get to interview her one day. I've been trying to set that up for a while. It's kind of on the down low a little bit, but I submitted a panel request for PAX Australia to actually do like a lore and a narrative panel with her, and I think that's being like assessed somewhere in the back rooms of, I guess, like PAX HQ and Square Enix, and who knows, like, it's such a long shot, but like that would be such a dream for me to be able to sit down and interview her. I would be so starstruck, honestly. Like, as a writer, she's just, she's so cool. We've heard the tales, but at last we can see you fight with our own eyes. We've been waiting for you, Warrior of Darkness. Everyone's here. Good. Let's get started, shall we? Chef's kiss, yeah, I know, right? As their name suggests, vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and become a nuisance. To draw them out, we use Chestermill's lures to work by exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats have wanted to nest under the eaves, so you are like to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have here 6 lures, 3 each for you and me. As proof of a successful kill, I want you to gather out their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. Oh, you're hunting too? Yes, well, there's nothing like friendly competition to bring out the best in Ethys. Oh, Alize's embarrassed. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, the two of you are to stay with Reen. Really strong too. We'll keep you safe. Without further ado then, let the contest begin. You know, it's funny, like, the little things like this are like precisely the stuff they've been taking out of ARR for the ARR revamp. But it's such a nice sort of flavor, I guess. Having these slightly slower paced moments in the MSQ in a patch. Oh my goodness, Potato, thank you so much for that raid and for that host. I really appreciate that. Welcoming everyone. If we got any mods here, I would really appreciate a shout out for Potato. And if any of you jabronis here are not following them, then go give them some love, please. Please, please, please. Aussie represent. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, welcome everyone from Potato's stream. We are doing the 5.3 MSQ right now. We're pretty near the start, so please, 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 please do be careful with spoilers as we proceed. And it's wonderful to see you all. I hope you've all been enjoying the patch so far. You think only a flying would have fixed the tediousness of MSQ post ARR? I think it's going to have had like a huge impact. I hesitate to speak too much about the ARR revamp, considering like I obviously haven't done it yet. But I'm planning on doing that in the near future. I'm going to be making a fresh character and actually leveling through with a couple of friends who are new to the game. And I'll be recording that and putting that up on YouTube, I think, just because like it's a nice excuse to revisit the ARR story, and I'm really interested to see what the changes are. Okay, Alize is definitely gonna have more fangs than me because I was just going to the nearest ones of these and not really paying attention to the fact that we were supposed to put them near buildings. Yeah, emote only does work. I don't think we need it yet, but we probably will get to the point like near the end where emote only mode might behoove us. Still get your 1k cheer badge? Yeah, of course. Hell yeah. Actually, speaking of all that, like you guys might notice we don't have any sub badges at the moment. I've got an artist working on a bunch of new assets for me, including a new logo, which I'm going to be using across Twitch and YouTube, which I'm really, really excited about. I think some of you have probably seen the sketches, but also new sub badges on the same sort of theme as the new logo, and I've got 10 new emotes as well in the works. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Well fought, Ethys. The children were hanging on your every move. How they could possibly see me. As was I, to be honest. Though I know the tally, may I see your fangs for good measure? It is exciting, yeah. And, well, it's exciting because, like, my like logo and branding and stuff is 5 years old now, so it's definitely past due for a glow up. Apologies for the wait. My fangs, not a bad haul, even if I do say so myself. Hey, Pudge. 5, 6, 7. 7 fangs from Alize. Which means that we have a draw. Ethys also collected 7 fangs. Oh. Why does this feel even worse than losing? It's another measly fang and victory would have been mine. I love Alize. Don't look so surprised. I've no intention of remaining lost in your wait forever, you know. Oh my goodness. Kazuki, thank you very much for 26 months. And Marizinki, thank you very much for 15. I really, really appreciate it. And you have absolutely no need to apologize. Thank you very much for the support. So, children, you've now seen the Warrior of Darkness in action. What are your impressions? He's incredible, miss. The bats were down before they knew it. Our guards are strong, but the Warrior of Darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like him. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you may as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched Ethys and train hard. Keep at it for long enough, and you'll be strong too. If you don't mind telling us, when did you decide that you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when Albert appeared. I wanted to be strong since before I came to the Crystarium. Sin Eaters killed my father and my sister, see? I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Albert said, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. What about you, Arkil? Me? To be honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do. But if my friends are in trouble, I know that I want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them. See the world together. That's a wonderful goal. You really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. I felt as though something I'd lost, and that I had to go out there and find it. Alright, so he's got the echo now. Well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercises you can do by yourselves. Oh, thank you, Anyway, and I'm sure I will. Thanks for showing us your fighting skills, Warrior Darkness. Never forget it. What's up, Munchie? How you doing? I understand how Arkil feels. Star Shower didn't awaken me to Heideland's voice. That vision of the final days, Amberot burning, filled me with a sadness to the very pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made, felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind. When I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. That's interesting. King Brahama, that's a really interesting question. I know this is like a little bit of a tangent from the action that's happening here. But what we know is that half of the Amratines were sacrificed to summon Zodiac. Zodiac halted the apocalypse, and then there was a bunch of new life. Life that was made up of, like if we put it sort of, I hesitate to say scientifically, but, you know, like 14 scientifically, I guess. The new life that came after Zodiac was made up of less anima than the ancients, than the Amratines in particular. So they were less ethereally dense. So everyone that lives now is a shard of life that came before the Sundering. But not all of them are necessarily like pre-Zodiac life. So not all of the souls before the Sundering, like immediately before the Sundering, were of an equivalent density. And in fact, we don't even know, like, before the summoning of Zodiac, it may have been that the Amratines were way more powerful and had, like, way more anima than, like, anyone else in the ancient world. We simply don't know. So it's hard to say. Like, souls are being recycled and reincarnated, sure, but it's like energy can't be created and destroyed, right? Everything goes back to the live stream, but not everyone's souls are of the same density categorically, right? So like the same stuff, the same like constituent components of what the soul is made up of is being recycled. So it's hard to say. I dare say there were less ancients. But we simply don't know. We do not know for sure. You don't need the echo to remember. See, that's why I thought it seemed like we needed the echo to remember, but Alize has like it I guess she's describing she had a kind of feeling of deja vu, which is really interesting because my speculation after 5.2 was that the echo is being awakened in everyone that saw the star shower and is like, you know, made up of a shard of someone that witnessed it originally. Whereas what Alize seems to be implying is that like part of her like ethereal consciousness did have that feeling, but she didn't get the echo. So maybe it's a matter of like degrees, right? Maybe it's like part of Alize's anima once belonged to an ancient soul, but not enough of it to have a strong enough connection to the star shower to have the echo awakened. Is kind of what I'm suspecting right now. Cecilia, thank you very much for the 100 bits. And Jay, thank you very much for 4 months. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And Mary Zinke, thank you as well. All right, let's get back to it. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt. But lest you worry, I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intention of donning an Asian mask. I just wish we knew what Elidibus was plotting. But look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're going to stand around lost in thought, we may as well do so back in the city. Rest assured, Reen and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. Uh-oh. It's nothing. Just a dizzy spell. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. Yeah, they've been here too long. I'm fine now, not to worry. I'll see you soon. It's a feeling you recognize someone who's never seen them. Yeah, it's that kind of deja vu, isn't it? As you ponder Alize's words, you were taken by an urge to revisit the scene of that fateful meeting. Well, yeah, sad Sag. That's what I'm saying. Like, all anima once constituted the souls of people from before the summoning of Zodiac, right? And all of that is recycled into new life post-Zodiac and post-Sundering. like, as far as we understand, like, anima isn't created or destroyed from the live stream. It's the same stuff that's being recycled through. But yes, not everyone has the potential to awaken, and the question there is simply why? Why not? They use the same anima to create the souls post-Zodiac. Well, it seems like Zodiac... I'm pretty sure that the Amratine souls that were sacrificed to summon Zodiac, he still has those. And same with whatever was sacrificed to form Heidelin. But that apocalypse, those final days, would have killed a bunch of other people whose anima returned. And the summoning of Zodiac itself and like whatever Zodiac did probably also was a pretty like apocalyptic event and probably killed a bunch of people. And that anima was recycled, and at least, you know, I count from M itself is that the lives that were created, the lives that sort of started appearing after the summoning of Zodiac were like lesser life forms. At least as far as they were concerned, they were less dense, they were less powerful. And the plan was to eventually sacrifice those to Zodiac to like trade them, to swap them out with the Amratines and bring the Amratines back. Uh-oh. Oh, now that is interesting.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
What? Okay. So we already understand that, at least we suspect that this Elidibus was raised after the summoning of Zodiac, and I guess we're about to get a confirmation of whether or not that's the case. At times you will stand with us, at times you will stand against us, or that you might steer mankind in the very star upon their true course. I was right, he's not tempered. He's not tempered. They elevated someone to the position of Elidibus who was not tempered by Zodiac so that he could mediate. He was saying in 5.2 that his allegiance was to the Convocation, not to Zodiac. All the other members of the Convocation were tempered, and this Elidibus wasn't. And they knew that. They knew that they were tempered, and they knew that they needed someone who could be objective and impartial. And yes, this is La Habrea. The speaker is La Habrea. Can't be after the summoning. Oh, there are 13 there, are they? Okay. Interesting.
So you peered into my memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope.
He's not going to give us any answers. Why must you embroil the people in your plans? Plotting, get back Arbert's body. I mean, if we just ask him straight up, there's no way that he's going to answer.
I merely avail myself of such tools as I require for the conflict to come.
Hmm.
That which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness. I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You. You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose. The Convocation charged me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done.
Hmm.
I will strike you down. Destroy you body and soul. All else must wait. Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness, and I will save the world. One last matter. I bore witness to your final struggle with MSQ. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you.
Surprised Elidibus didn't try and intervene to save his brother if he cares about him so much.
As if he mistook you for another.
Ethys called me his new old friend.
No. I recall not of whom he spoke. Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Hmm.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude.
Oh, come on, Graha. Be very, very careful.
But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
Graha's been getting a big head. Getting a little too confident of himself. Oh no, there it is.
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
So, you guys remember in 2.1 when Elidibus did this to Minfilia? In the French localization, he mentioned something about not being able to take possession of her. Does the exact same thing to her. We just tried to do the same thing. And no spoilers, right? No spoilers. But my last minute speculation. Okay, do not confirm or deny this, chat. I don't want to hear your comments on this. Just sit on your hands. But my last minute speculation was that Elidibus was going to possess Graha and was going to use his abilities and his connection with the Crystal Tower against us. And, you know, summoning heroes from beyond the rift like he did to help us with MSQ, he was going to use against us. So, that's where I'm at. Ay, 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 ay. Uh-oh.
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed.
Yeah, you seem to be. I mean, you super don't, though.
This is my own doing. The consequence of my recent exertions. It is the tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it. Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor.
Oh, would you guys like me to turn the voice track up?
One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the first once said,
Okay, I can do that.
that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism, so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope. Or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. Said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith, such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future. And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness. Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
Just gonna take a quick screenshot here, because this is it's not working. Oh, never mind. That's the plan, Fox. And hi, Nas, how you doing?
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
Uh-oh. I'm prepared to Mad Guns if it comes to that. Stream for another 5 hours. We'll see. Yeah, Thancred has been here all way too long. I'm so glad I found the both of you and the Exarch. The fates seem determined not to allow us a quiet moment. But come, let us have the details from Reen. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn... Oh, the voice is already up max, so let me turn the BGM down a little bit, and then turn the master volume up a little bit. Alright. 5 years. Thancred's been here for 5 years. The rest of our conversation must wait. Let's hear the situation from Reen. It happened after Alizé and I saw the children back to Spagirix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumbled on the ground. Terrarians are looking after him now, with Alphino standing by, just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the Exedra told me where to look. I see. Cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spagirix. Why is Graha's soul dense? Well, it's gotta have something to do with the royal Allagan blood and the fact that like he basically rejoined with Une and Doga, I guess, in a manner of speaking. And also his connection to the tower, right? Is that like the crystal tower is effectively like an extension of his body, and the crystal tower absorbed a lot of ether from Dalamud in the brief time that it was activated as a battery and as an antenna. Like the crystal tower, it's a crystal, you know, like it's like any other like orosite or ether crystal or whatever, just that it's huge. He lived through the calamity that killed us, so he has an extra rejoining. That's true as well, actually. Yeah, that is true. So he's also 8 parts rejoined, 9 parts rejoined. Yeah. Sorry, 8 times rejoined, so he's 9 out of 14 by default. I fear this bodes ill, not just for Thancred. Thancred, shouldn't you be resting? Excuse me, Alma. Breen found you then. We had to send the children off earlier than planned, but they understood. It appears our friend has already awakened. For that, at least, we can be thankful. Means he can be 15 out of 14? Maybe. They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed. Otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's ether, however, did show signs of instability. Did what I could to calm the fluctuations. This happened without warning. Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. His water-walking charm failed. He was tired, as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which, in retrospect, may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since. There was no actual fainting until now. As Alvino observed, I have no lingering injuries, and most assuredly isn't old age. Is but one likely cause. Link between body and soul is weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, Ethys, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kral about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. Finally. Finally. You know what? It would probably be better to go and talk to Mikoto, but I guess Graha doesn't know her. But you know, we should be intelligent enough to think of that. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus' plot. Thus far, I've learned this much. That in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Underlings, Asian underlings, perhaps. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. Beast terrorizing settlements, blight ravaging crops, sort of thing. Okay, so he's trying to whip up these warriors of light. He's trying to groom them in the same way that they were trying to groom us originally in ARR. All of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus' call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. And you think these black-clad strangers are Asians? I do. I fully intend to investigate further. Though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on mine. Gods know I've been itching to get out there for a while. Mayhap Urianger too can be prevailed upon to join in your efforts. He's already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Beklag and I to wrestle with the rest. Well, if you can spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. You'll do no such thing. However heedless you are of your own well-being, if you care at all for Reen's feelings, you'll stay in bed until you're needed. Alphino and I will find Urianger. All being well, we'll have news to share by the time you return. Safe travels, Ethys. I mean, to be fair, Cookie, Mikoto's not with the Circle of Knowing. But I'm pretty sure she was with the students of Baldesian, so Graha should know her. I know you cross the rift all the time, but please take care. Lest you misunderstand, I'm not averse to putting my feet up. Being coddled like a brittle-boned nonagenarian that chafes. That's a big word for you, Thancred. Depends if Moonbreeder was a student of Baldesian. No. But, well, Mikoto wasn't her student. She was more, it seems like she was more like a tutor to Moonbreeder. Sorry, where are we going? We're going Rising Stones. Yes, nonagenarian is someone who's in their 90s. Yeah, Mikoto was like studying with Moonbreeder and was helping Moonbreeder develop the White Auracite and the Etheric Siphon. Yeah, poor Moonbreeder. Oh.